Hi, everybody, and welcome to this great webinar that we're doing here. I just had John put up a quick poll, and I'd appreciate if you had selected either yes or no, and we'll leave it up for about another 20 seconds to half a minute for you to do. So just click in the yes or no, and that'll give us a little bit of an idea on what is happening. Anyway, again, I'm going to say to you, this is so exciting to me. At 74 years old, I'm doing webinars. I mean, I would have never in my entire life have ever imagined that. But what I want you to do is to always try to keep a pad and pen handy, because you're going to have a lot of notes that are going to come up with a lot of good things that are really going to be well worthwhile for you. But I also want you to hold off the questions that you might have till the end, and we'll be glad to answer all the questions that you have. And you know, some of you haven't heard about LinkedIn and how to do this, so this is going to be really great for you and what have you as we go along. So what I'm going to show you here is a strategy on how to turn 62% of the people that are in your LinkedIn groups into prospects for your business. And we're going to really excel on this here. But before, a lot of you have asked me a little bit about myself. You can see where I created over 6 million clients, and I kind of feel I don't like to talk about myself. Let me put it that way. So most of you, when you get the link to listen to this whole webinar in your leisure, you can pause it here and then you can read about me as you go along. But why LinkedIn is a gold mine for prospecting? All right, let me give you 4 reasons why people use LinkedIn. And these are very important things that I'm going to be showing you on why LinkedIn to me is the best prospecting tool that I've ever come across in my life. But number one, it maintains professional identity. You make useful contacts with the individuals in your groups. You can search for opportunities and you stay in touch. 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members are responsible for driving the business decisions and making the business decision. So 4 out of 5 members on LinkedIn are the ones that are capable of making business decisions on whether to purchase your product or not. 39% of the members are senior level executives and above. So those of you who are working on key man insurance or group insurance or the insurance, 39% of the people that you're going to talk to are senior level executives and above. Now, 28% of the members are responsible for managing their budgets. They're the ones that make that decision on managing their budget. But LinkedIn members are active, influential professionals in a business frame of mind. They use LinkedIn to learn about new products and services. They use LinkedIn to keep up with industry trends, research companies, network with peers, and conduct business. That's important, and conduct business. LinkedIn reaches a unique audience. 83% of LinkedIn users do not use Pinterest. 59% of LinkedIn users do not visit Google+. 58% of LinkedIn users do not visit Twitter. So 58% of these people never got a tweet from Donald Trump. 13% of LinkedIn users do not visit Facebook. Now that's an important statistic there. 13% of the people on LinkedIn do not utilize Facebook. But LinkedIn is a powerful network with over 400 million professionals who are also consumers. It's probably over 500 million at this point. But there is a buying power index. Recent studies show LinkedIn members have the highest buying power compared to other social networks. just look at these, this index. LinkedIn compared to even Facebook. But communicating in LinkedIn, you know, you got to understand your connections and the effect on your ability to communicate on LinkedIn with them. All right, you've got 3 different degrees on LinkedIn. The first degree are people that you're directly connected to because you've accepted their invitation to connect, or they have accepted your invitation. And you can contact them all the time by sending a message on LinkedIn. The second and third degree ones are the ones that we're going to talk about, that we want to try to get them to become our first degree level. Because when they become on the first degree level, you're now going to be able to get their personal email and phone numbers. So if you go to any of your groups and you click on the number of members and you just click on the first names, you'll see that they're in your first degree. Or you could go into the advanced button and just click on first degree people and you'll get them there. And then you could always take their email and phone number off there. But your second degree people are people who you are connected to on your first degree who are connected to your first degree connections. Now you can send them invitations by clicking on connect or contact them through an email. To me, that's kind of difficult. I'd rather send the messages when they become my first degree member. Now, the third degree people, all right, are connected to your second degree connections. You know, if their first name and last names are displayed, you can then send them an invitation by clicking on connect. If only the first letter of their last name is displayed, clicking connect is not an option, but you can still contact them through an email. And don't forget, the more people that communicate and accept your first degree connection request, all these people in the second and third degree are moving down into the third degrees are moving down into your second degree, etc. All right, key strategies to help convert LinkedIn connections into prospects. This is very good here, but you want to optimize your LinkedIn profile. The key areas you want to concentrate on are the headline that's in your thing, which is what's going to capture an individual's attention when they click on your name. You want to do the summary, contact info, experience and job description. On contact info, always put your personal email and phone number there. And you want to, the second thing you want to do is to build your first level connections. You want to join as many LinkedIn groups as you possibly can of where your prospect is located. I have talked to many of you and insurance agents and financial planners, etc. And I have found, to my dismay, that most of the groups you belong to are professional organizations that relate to the insurance or financial industry. You want to have groups where your prospect is in. And I'll be going over showing you some stuff in a few minutes here. And then, of course, you want to create your own LinkedIn group, which is going to be a future seminar, webinar that I'm going to do to make that happen for you. But you want to keep a profile alive and engaging, all right? So how do you join LinkedIn groups? What you do is you click on the down arrow right up here next to the search bar, all right, and you want to click on groups. Then what you do, all right, is to type in the type of a group you want. In this situation, it's small business owners. It could be, you want to, like if landscapers are your target audience, you type in landscapers. If teachers are your target audience, you type in teachers. If nurses are, you type in nurses. If photographers are, you type in photographers. For every occupation, there's a LinkedIn group. Plus, you also want to get local groups that are within your state. So you want to start first with typing in your city, all right, and state, and then just type in the state. and you want to join those groups at that time. Now LinkedIn is having a little bit of difficulties because you used to be able to either view a group or click on join, and if you clicked on join, then he automatically made you a member. For some odd reason, the join buttons aren't working currently. So what I suggest is you click on the group name. All right. So what you do after typing in the target group, in this situation, small business owners, you click on the blue icon of the magnifying glass on the far right. Now this lists the different groups that are small business owners. Those of you who are in the women's market, just type in women in the target group and join those groups. But in this situation, you just simply click on the group that you want to join. In this situation, we're already in small business owner, but we're not in the mastermind group for small businesses. So we click on that group, and this is what shows up. And then we click on the far right-hand side, Ask to Join. All right. Again, as we go along, if you have any questions or anything, I'm only an email away, and I'm going to be giving you my email as we go along. So you ask to join, and it'll show pending status until approved. Now, how to choose a LinkedIn group? Groups should have people who will be your prospects or clients or power partners like third-party influencers who would refer clients to you. How do you determine ideal groups to join in? Well, you should choose groups that have 15 or plus new members every day. You want groups that have at least 10,000 members. You want groups that are marked active, which is important, or very active. You want groups that are have a lot of activity and engagement within their posts. All right? This is very important because you're going to be doing posts and all too. But how do you connect with members in your group? Well, you're going to do that by sending a connection request in LinkedIn. All right? Now, what you want to do is create a list of common first names. Now, those of you who don't want to reinvent the wheel, just send me an email to kenpbg@aol.com, and I'll be glad to send you my list of common first names. Now remember, I don't have all the names that are possible. So what you're going to do is, when you get my list, if you have to enable editing, click on the Enable Editing button, and that'll allow you now to add other names to my list. And those of you who live in the predominantly Spanish states, areas like California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, you want to add those names that I don't have on this list. Again, you don't want to reinvent the wheel, so send me an email to kenpbg@aol.com. All right, so how do you send the connection request? Again, what you're going to do is you're going to click on Interest, which is right up here, and then click on Groups. All right? Then on the top left-hand side, see where it says My Groups? You click on My Groups. Now, we're going to choose a group to send the message, the connection messages to. All right? Now, for those of you who do Key Man Insurance, by the way, this group here, CXO, CEO, COO, I mean, this group is made up primarily of top-level management people. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the target group, which is the CXO one that we have here. That's going to bring you to this screen now. And what you do is, you see on the top left-hand side, it says Keywords. You could type the name, first name in there, or you could type it in the first name box. Either one will work. So we're going to do John now, and then you click on Group Members, which is in the middle of the page right there. Or you can just click on the second connection box and third connection box. This way you'll only get the second and third connection people. And then you go over to the right and you click in the CXO box for the group that you're working on. Then you click on the search box on the bottom left. Everybody see that? The search box is on the bottom left. Now this is what comes up. It comes up with all the Johns that are in your group. In this particular situation, I don't know how many are on here, but I can imagine it'll be quite extensive. So now what you do is, where it shows message, those are the people on your first level. If you only clicked on the second connection box and the third connection box, you're not going to get those. You'd start with John Follis. So what you do is you just click on John Follis, all right? And you're going to click on their name. If you click on their name, it'll ask you to click on the connect button. Now, some individuals don't want to receive messages, so they're going to require you to put in John's email, which you don't have. So what you're going to do is you want to go back to the search results and select another person that was your second connection. In this situation, it was John Moloff. So you click on the next second level person, which is John Moloff, and you're going to click on the connect button again, and now you get a different screen. Now you get this screen. So now you click on the friend box, and understand, you know, people are constantly, LinkedIn is constantly changing different things. So individuals that are in my coaching program, I keep an updated situation on whenever anything changes and how to change it. But I have this here message in there as a fellow member of our, put the name of the group in, I'd like to accept my request to connect. Then you put your first and last name, and then you could send the invitation. In my connection message, I also add a sentence that says, if you look at my profile, you'll see that I could be a heck of an asset for you. So you might want to add that on, or type in something that you feel yourself very, very comfortable with. Okay, how do you send a connection request on LinkedIn? You could also click on, all right, the connection message that I just showed you and what have you. But once the person has accepted your connection request, you're going to receive a notification from LinkedIn. So every day, all I want you to do, by the way, is to send out the connection request, and every day you're going to get an email from LinkedIn that's going to say, see John's connections, see Mary's connections, see Harriet's connections. If more than one person sends you the connection message and accepts your message for that day, it's going to say, see John and others, connection and others. So you'll be able to get a list of 2 to 3 to 4, how many accepted your connection request that day. Once the person has accepted your connection request and you get that notification, you're going to click on View Profile. Now, you want to go to your email and look for what I just went over, see Mark's connections. All right? And this is what's going to happen. So now you're going to click on the contact info, and this is the whole reason for this strategy, is to get their personal email and phone number. So underneath the 500 or whatever number of members that they have, all right, in this situation, Mark had 387 connections. You see his email and phone number there. I blocked it off because it was irrelevant here. So in your personal CRM prospecting software, you want to put Mark's name, email, and phone number in. That's important. Now, I want you to take a moment and write this accepted message down. And remember, at the end of the webinar, within about a week or so, you're going to get a link where you can watch the webinar in your leisure, and you can always pause when you get to this type page, and you can write it down. So I'll leave it on for about 5 more seconds, but it simply says, "Hi, Mark." All right, what you're going to do is you're going to put this, my suggestion is to go and create a Ken Varga folder on your desktop, and in a Word document, call it connection message, and just put in there, "Thank you for accepting me into your network on LinkedIn. We're here to help each other with ideas and referrals. Please tell me a little about yourself and who your ideal referral would be, so that when I see someone like that, I can refer them to you. My personal email is," and here you just type in your email. And then you want to type your name on the bottom and phone number on the bottom. So I'll leave that up for a few, but again, if you want my copy of this, all right, just send me an email to kenpbg@aol.com, and I'll be glad to send it off to you. So I'll leave it up for another few seconds. Boy, when you count to 5, it sure seems like a long time. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next slide here. So then you want to click on Send Message, and always put, there's 2 different, LinkedIn sometimes on old accounts, they have, when you click on the send a message, it could give you a subject line. So with a subject line, you always want to put from your name. If not, and you're just going to send a message, it'll just be, "Hi, Mark," and send the message. So you see where it says from subject? And some accounts now, the newer accounts that are coming up, don't have that. So you want to copy, whenever you get that message from LinkedIn about your connection, see Mark's connections and others, you want to copy the thank you message, and then right-click and paste it in there. All right? But again, if you need the copy of accept the message, just send me an email at kenpbg@aol.com. All right. 1 out of 10 individuals, by the way, will respond back to you. Some individuals, by the way, depending on the group that they belong to, which could be very responsive, some are getting 12 to 25% response rate. No, so now you want to thank them for telling you who their ideal referral would be. So 1 of 2 things are going to happen. Either they're going to respond back to you and tell you who their ideal referral is, or what they're going to do is to not respond back to you. Those that don't respond back to you, you want to send them an email, a follow-up email telling them you sent them off the message on LinkedIn, asking them who their ideal referral is. You haven't heard back from them yet, and you do want to help them with referrals, so please let me know who your ideal referral is. A lot of individuals, when they send that second follow-up message, they're getting between 80 and 85% of the people responding back. All right? Anyway, when they respond back to you, you don't want to try to sell them immediately, because you don't want to be disappointed. And guess what? I just pressed the wrong button on here, so I'm going to go back to the where I was at. There we are. Okay, how to market. So anyway, you want to go to Ehowcom, and these are different pieces of content and informative stuff that you could copy and paste as long as you leave the include the writer's information. So you want to copy about 5 or 6 of these onto a Word document so that you can always follow up with a message. And all you do is you simply say, you know, I came across the following article. I found it to have valuable information, and I thought it would help you. Please let me know what you think of it. And then you wait for them to respond back. If they don't respond back, send them a follow-up message. Say, John, I sent you the article, and I haven't heard back from you. I needed to know what you thought of it. So let me know what you thought of it. All right? But you always want to follow up every 4 weeks if they haven't responded. All right? Here's a response follow-up message. And again, let me know, and I'll be glad to send you the follow-up message. I'll leave it on for a few minutes, but a follow-up message basically is, 2 weeks ago I sent you an email via LinkedIn thanking you for accepting me into your network. And I asked you who your ideal referral would be so I can refer someone to you. I haven't heard back from you, so please let me know who your ideal referral would be, and I will refer them to you. Have a great day, your name and phone number. But you always want to follow up every 4 weeks, every 4 weeks. It always astounds me how individuals, what happens is they give up on prospects too soon. All right? In the first module of my coaching program, I give you an actual example of 100 individuals that I wanted as my client. And what I did was I showed you the statistics that resulted when I sent out the first message, how many responded, the third message, fourth message, fifth message. Even after 12 communications, 85 out of 100 finally responded back to me. So each month, send them the follow-up messages. Don't give up on your prospects too early, because you know how difficult it is to get a prospect. And remember, people, it's all about building relationships. After these people respond back to you, you keep building that relationship. Relationships develop into trust, and trust develops into sales. With this connection, by the way, I get a 62% response rate. Unbelievable. And everybody is on LinkedIn for one reason and one reason only: to get referrals. Isn't this why you're all on LinkedIn? Or you should be, to get referrals. And it's building that system. With our messages that I've given you so far, we have just opened the door for them to bond with us. And that's critical, because it builds that relationship. But here's some important tips. You send to your second and third level connections only. You do 10 or more of this every day. You can send a maximum of 50 requests within each group, within each 24-hour period. I would do no more than 40. My virtual assistant, Marie, does 40 requests for me. Oh, by the way, here I go. You want to contemplate hiring a virtual assistant to do all this for you, because you're better off in being in front of people and making money. But what I'm showing you here takes you less than 1 minute a day to do. All right, to send 10 connection requests. To send 50 out, it'll probably take about an hour or so. A VA spending an hour a day, all right, to send out 125 messages a week. All right? And what are the benefits of using LinkedIn? It's an inexpensive way of building your pipeline and building your community. More prospective clients. You get more prospective clients by joining groups and sending new connections. It's a systematic way of doing lead generation, and it increases in referrals from your new connections. According to my subscribers in my coaching program, they're getting up to 62% response rate on the connection messages. For example, if you or the virtual assistant send out 100 messages per month, you will get up to 62 prospects to present your product or service to. Now, I just want to go over it very quickly because some of you are wondering, I mentioned the coaching program. Here's a little bit about the coaching program. Every month, you're going to get a new module with a new strategy to implement that month. And by the way, I give you homework to do also. Every month we have a live conference call. And you also get access, you get a link to the conference call so that you can listen to it in your leisure. The coaching program is flooding your practice with customers. And it's just $20 a month. All right? And I'll show you additional ways of creating 10 to 25 new prospects per month. After you sign up, I will set up a phone call with you personally, and I'll show you another method of getting 10 to 25 new prospects per month. Now I'm going to put a guarantee in here for you. After you sign up, and I hope all of you that are on the conference call now, webinar, are going to sign up, but I'll guarantee you that after you receive the first module, if you feel it's not worth $20, just let me know, and I'll return the $20 to you. All of you probably tip more in restaurants than $20. So it should be time that you invested in your business and practice. So what you need to do is to sign up, write this down, www.buildyourpracticefast.com. You're going to find so many things that are going to happen to you after you sign up, wonderful things. Number one, you're never going to fear about having prospects to talk to. Each month, as you implement the strategies in each module, you're just going to see your book of business increase consistently. I mean, I think that's just wonderful, you know? And as you go through each monthly module in the program, you're going to notice how easy it is to create new customers. This coaching program is designed to do that for you. All right, so it's www.buildyourpracticefast.com. And let's just go ahead. So what I've showed you so far is very easy to implement. You might think you're overwhelmed right now, but what you really need is a virtual assistant to help you generate more prospects without you having to spend all the time doing it. VAs create prospects for you to present your product or services to. And again, as I mentioned before, I'm using virtual assistant talent for many, many years now. And I found them to be very trustworthy, honest, and useful. The VAs can help you grow your network by helping you create and optimize your LinkedIn profile for searchability, by sending your connection messages, searching for and joining LinkedIn groups, posting interesting articles to your groups and your status, setting appointments for you. This is important. Your VA can set appointments for you, and they can manage your calendar. They can create and send out your newsletters. They can manage your contacts and email marketing. They can update your website content, blog, etc. They can manage your social media, increase your website traffic and search ranking, and much, much more. This is so important that you should take a look at it. And what I'd like to do here is, at this point, just introduce John Davern to you. And John, if you could take over from here. And again, like I said, if anybody has any questions, I'm only an email away. John?
Great. All right. Well, thanks so much, Ken, and thanks everybody for being on the call. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And yeah, so I've been part of Ken's coaching program for over 4 years now, and I can tell you that for me, it's been a tremendous benefit to me, and it's really the missing link, for me in my business. Whenever I come up with a roadblock or I need advice on something, the program has just been key and instrumental in helping me get through that. And so appreciate, Ken, you making this available for me and everybody else. What I'm going to talk to everybody about today is, who here would like to work less hours per week? I think everybody here would love to find out how they can reduce the number of hours that you have to work each week, and how to, I'm also going to tell you about expanding your audience reach and the capabilities for your business, and then, in generally speaking, improving your work-life balance. And all of us being here, if, as an insurance agent or as an entrepreneur or somebody who has your own business, we work really hard, and can work a lot of number of hours. There was a Inc. Article back in 2006, and then again back in 2014, that says entrepreneurs on average spend over 60 hours a week working, and that's a lot of hours that people put in. And just a little bit with my background, I was doing both. I was doing, I've got a corporate human resources background, 20 years in HR and recruiting, with multiple Fortune 500 companies. But at the same time, when I had my corporate income coming in, I also wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I started my own business doing real estate. So I'd work my 55, 60 hours a week in the office, and then I'd come home and I'd work another 4 to 5 hours a day building my real estate investing business, putting the website up, sending out emails, sending out postcards, responding to phone calls, doing research on properties. And I would go to bed around 12, 1, sometimes 2 in the morning, and then do the same thing all over again. And so with that experience, one of the things, fortunately, that I got introduced to was the concept of having a virtual assistant, somebody that can help do the tasks that you need to run your business, or tasks that you need to grow your business. And it taught me to see, well, what are the key things that I have to do, for my business, that I do best, that is the best use of my time, the best value add of my time, and what things can I outsource or have somebody else do for me. And so I was introduced to the concept of having a virtual assistant, and hired my first virtual assistant well over sometime back in 2006, 2007, to help me do the daily tasks for my real estate investing job that I had started. And so my first experience with a VA was having that VA do a repetitive process that I was trying to do but failing at it, repetitively posting ads to Craigslist, just going into Craigslist and posting ads. We buy houses, we're looking for properties, and searching Craigslist and the bulletin boards online for real estate deals. And it actually worked. One of my first deals that I had was a VA who found a real estate deal on Craigslist. And I took that real estate deal, presented it to the president of my real estate investment club, and it was a wholesale deal, and made money on that one, and did several other deals with the help of the virtual assistant. And from there became really the birth of virtual assistant talent, which is my current company. People were asking, hey, we want to get a VA to help us do these real estate deals, to help us answer calls, to help us call prospects for our business, and that was the birth of virtual assistant talent. And so what I do today, since then I've trained and hired hundreds of virtual assistants and provided those for clients. I help business owners to grow their business and improve their quality of life without them having to put all their own time into it. And that's what I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit today about. Virtual assistant talent, we provide, if you don't know what a virtual assistant is, that is a remote or online worker. We specialize in providing VAs from the Philippines. Philippines is a good choice because the fluency in English. They're taught English in schools and as part of their curriculum. So I specialize in Philippines. That's also where my first virtual assistant that I hired to help me out with. Been around since the company actually was started in 2009, and we've, like I've said, we've employed hundreds of Philippines-based virtual assistants, and we support our clients in a number of different services. So if you think about what things that you need to do to either run your business or expand your business, this is something that a virtual assistant could help you out. It could be digital marketing. It could be getting traffic to your website. It could be managing your social media accounts. It could be writing content or blogs, or doing research for a presentation that you may have to do. It could be recruiting other insurance agents for your business. It could be contacting and prospecting for you. It could be graphics design, telemarketing, administrative type services, you name it. These are all different things that a VA can do. Now, one of the things that I learned in my corporate background, worked for a Toyota General Motors joint venture. When we would go into our new jobs, and one of the first things that we would do is we looked at what daily tasks do I have to do? What weekly tasks do I have to do? What are things that I have to do on a monthly basis? And any of those tasks that we had to do, we were required by our supervisor or our manager to create a standardized work or a document that shows specifically, here's the steps to complete this work activity. And that's one of the things that I'd encourage you to do, is to look at that and look at, okay, what is the best use of my time, and what are these daily activities, these weekly activities, these monthly activities that I have to do, that maybe I could document that and standardize that and assign to somebody. And yes, there's so many activities that maybe you could do better than other people, but you have to think about what is the best use of your time, which is interacting with customers and converting those customers into clients and leveraging your expertise. Now, that's the whole power when you create that standardized work. You can look at, okay, what things could I maybe outsource to somebody else that's going to save time for me, that's going to help me expand and grow my business, and that's going to improve my work-life balance. And so when I talk to our clients, or when I talk to other business owners, that's something that I do is I figure out, okay, what are the goals of your business? What are the activities that you're doing? And can this be outsourced? And then providing you with the right talent to achieve that goal. So the overall goal is you have a better work-life balance, more time with your family, a healthier lifestyle, sufficient sleep, well-rested. Can you imagine all this workload that you have, with a good portion of that you can outsource to a capable person? And even if you look at this LinkedIn task, right? This is a proven technique that Ken introduced this to me, part of his coaching program, and we're still doing the same technique in LinkedIn 3-4 years later, and it still produces results. And Ken's tweaked it, refined it. Sometimes there's roadblocks that LinkedIn puts up, and we've worked around those roadblocks, but this is a technique that has consistently worked for us. And imagine waking up in the morning and you got new leads in your inbox to follow up with, and it's something that your VA was able to do with you. Less stress, reducing costs. It's amazing the level of talent that you can get with a virtual assistant. For example, in the Philippines, many cases college degree, that spent time even working in the corporate world as supervisors or managers. And the benefit for the VA, the reason why they do it, is because it gives them the opportunity to work from home. But the talent comparison of what you might pay if you were to hire an office-based person, I'll show you this in the presentation, you're in many cases saving up to 75% on labor costs. I can tell you a web designer, we offer web designers as low as $11.20 an hour, and when I was in the corporate world, companies were charging us $90 to $100 an hour for a web designer. So there's amazing cost savings that you can have, especially if you're on a tight budget and looking at what do I have to have for office-based workers, and can I have some remote-based workers for some of these tasks that I have? Getting more clients and prospects, increasing your revenue, and really giving you the vehicle to help transform your life and business. And one of my inspirations in hiring a virtual assistant was reading a book. You might want to check this out. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. And he talked about, instead of, as an entrepreneur, if we're working 60 plus hours a week, what if we could work just 4 hours a week? And you might find that to be an extreme, but really if you look at the concept, he talked about outsourcing a lot of the things that you do on a daily basis in your personal life and in your business life, and what things can you do to outsource so that you can focus on the most important, highest value added activities. And I can tell you my extreme case when I was trying to do both my corporate job and my own business, and my worst case scenarios, and in some cases I was, instead of the 4-hour work week, it was the 4-hour sleep day, 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep, and some days I'd get 4 hours of sleep and I'd say, well, it's better than 3 hours of sleep. So it can really help to transform your life and business, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping business owners to realize the potential of leveraging virtual workforce in their business. Now, with this LinkedIn technique, as I mentioned, we've been using this technique for over 4 years to consistently bring in leads for our business and to build our list, to build our influence, to build our power partners and potential clients. We've created this virtual assistant done-for-you starter package for LinkedIn. And this is just one example, though, of how you can standardize an activity for your business. You standardize the work, and you can assign that work to somebody else. And that's really what we've done here with this program, the VA Done For You Starter Packages. We've standardized the work of the activity just like Ken showed you here. It's something that you can do on your own, or it's something that if you want to, you can assign a virtual assistant. We actually have already come up with the process for it so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. In this case, with the program that we're offering, is we will do the LinkedIn setup, where the VA is going to help you set up your LinkedIn account. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile or you don't know how to even do that, we can help you set up your LinkedIn account. We'll then help create your LinkedIn profile, and again, if you don't have a fully developed profile, we'll work with you to optimize your profile. And what that means is, as an example, if you were going on Google and you were searching for a product or service, or somebody who, let's say you're looking for a CPA or you're looking for an insurance agent, there are people that show up in the search at the top of the search and people who show up at the bottom, and some people don't show up at all in the search. And so LinkedIn has some similarities to that, where we maximize your profile so that when people are, let's say, for example, searching for an insurance agent or a particular product or service that you're offering, that your profile would have a better chance of showing up in that search. So that's one of the activities that we do during the first week, is getting that profile together for you. Now, the activity, the VA daily activity, because this is it's a repetitive process. It's a process that you're reaching out to a wide audience and you're consistently delivering the message to people. We will, on a daily basis, join 2 LinkedIn groups per day containing potential clients. And these, the VA's job is to do the research, which can be a little time consuming, to find, just like what Ken showed, the best groups for you to get your power partners and to get your prospective clients. And so the VA will look for the activity in that. Are people posting in that group? Are people joining the group? Are people engaged in that group? And so if they're doing this on a daily basis, their goal is to join 2 LinkedIn groups per day containing your clients and prospects. They're going to join 10 groups per week, potentially up to the LinkedIn maximum of potentially of up to 100 groups, and then monitoring and replacing those groups as needed. for the ones that have the best responsiveness. And if a group is not working for you, if people aren't engaged in that, people aren't responding to your messages, then switching out those groups. So on a daily basis, as Ken mentioned, there are some daily limits with LinkedIn. We want to make sure that we don't abuse that or go over, because then you can be flagged by LinkedIn. So we send 25 connection messages per day, or 125 connection messages per week. So that's a lot of people that we're sending messages to, and then a certain percentage of those you convert into clients or customers. So the VA's job when they're sending out these messages, they're going to monitor so that you don't have to do that, to monitor and notify you of positive responses for follow-up and action. And then based on your business model and what you're comfortable with, either you can have the VA send a customized response to them, you could even have a VA make a phone call to them, or you yourself may have your own, may want to convert that lead in your own. And standard marketing, a lot of times people need to see the same message over and over, and the benefit of this is these people become part of your network, and we may get into this in a future webinar. If you're sending out pulse messages on LinkedIn, they're going to see that message and see you as a go-to person or a knowledge base for the product or service that you offer. Talked about looking at your time and how you value your time, and what activities that just real quick, if you want to find out more about it, I'm going to give you the link to that program in just a few minutes. But when you talk about what things that you should be doing versus what things can you outsource, I always look at how is this the best use of my time. And as an example, I had a internet technology webmaster background. I could do some basic website design or putting some websites together, but it takes me a long time. And do I really want to be sitting there trying to make my own website? And when I first started out in real estate, yeah, I did that. It took me hours to do it, but I could have been doing something else. And I could have been engaging, talking to customers, or looking at properties, things that I do best, or things that require me to go out in the field and do. And this is how you should look at, with your time, how much is your time worth versus hiring somebody else. Here's some statistics from Bureau of Labor Statistics or payscale.com, which is a good resource for you if you're looking to hire people. How much is it going to cost, or how much your time is worth even. Insurance, so some statistics, insurance agents, the stats from Bureau of Labor Statistics on average, making in mid part of the range. Obviously there's people that are at the top of the field, people are at the lower end, but on average $47,000 annually, which translates into a weekly of $115 a week, or $460 per month if, let's say, you were just spending an hour of your time doing the LinkedIn task. So that's kind of the comparison point is, okay, if I wanted to do this LinkedIn task on a daily basis for an hour, here's how much my time is worth, and how much it would cost me to do that task. Is it worth my time, or should I be doing something else, or can I hire somebody cheaper to do this for me? A real estate agent, you can see that for real estate agents. For small business owners, average income $60,000. An average person, Social Security Administration, this is the average for average workers, $46,481. And then let's say you wanted to, you don't fall into any of these categories, or you wanted to hire someone to do this activity for you. This is something that probably an office-based marketing assistant could do for you, and average marketing assistants available at a rate of $35,000 annually, or $16.91 an hour. So if you were to hire a marketing assistant to do this for you on a weekly basis, that would cost you $84.55 a week, or $338 a month. Or an
John?
Yes, go ahead.
Can
Yeah.
I interrupt a moment here? I
just
want to mention. Yeah, I know you're using the figures and all, but I want everybody on the call to understand what I do with my virtual assistant. Every day you get a report from the virtual assistant on what they accomplished. And what I do is I'm a firm believer in return on investment. And I relate what it costs me for my virtual assistant every month, and I want to determine my return on investment. Last month, my return on my investment for a virtual assistant was 327%.
Wow.
All right? So that's just for everybody's edification on how useful and valuable a virtual assistant's time is.
Yeah, that's an outstanding ROI, and it's just amazing, in terms of the value add that you can get for with a virtual assistant doing these different tasks for you. And just so kind of as a reference point here, if you were to do a comparison of what your time is worth, how much it would cost to have someone locally do the task for you versus someone remotely. And so in terms of the package that we've created for the standardized work task of marketing for you in LinkedIn, if you look at your cost of your time, how much it would cost you to do this on a monthly basis versus having an office-based worker do this for you. We've come up with a VA weekly package for $49 a week where they'll do this task for you. And the monthly cost would be $196 per month, but we've got a promotion. So if this is a task or activity that you want a VA to do for you, this is something that we have available. And so it'd be $44 per week or $176 a month. But if you take advantage of our promo code and you go to our website link, which I'm going to give you next, you go to the website and use promo code Ken5 if you wanted to. We've got different payment options. So if you chose the weekly option, Ken5 promo code gets it for $44 a week. Or if you use promo code Ken10, that gives you $10 off. Or the monthly Ken20 gives you $20 off the price that you'll see in the shopping cart. And so this is a limited promo code to sign up by November 27th, and it's going to apply to your first 2 months of service, and then after that it reverts to the regular pricing. So the program's very flexible. It's something that you can start and stop at any time, and if you've prepaid, we'll prorate it and give you a refund if it's something that you decide you don't want to do, and so forth. So this is the program where we've come up with the standardized work for it, and it's something that you can have a virtual assistant do. If you want to sign up for it or find out more information about it, you can go to virtualassistanttalent.com/LinkedIn. So virtualassistanttalent.com/LinkedIn, or give us a call at 510-400-8006, and we can answer any questions. I can't emphasize this more, but the coaching program and VA services complement each other perfectly, because as you know, if you're doing sales copy, or if you're doing anything related to your business, you're presenting your message to people. Having the right message versus the wrong message, or not tweaking it properly, can make the difference between sales and conversion and not. And that's one of the huge benefits of being a part of Ken's program. And with Ken's program, if you want to sign up for that, you go to buildyourpracticefast.com to sign up for his coaching program. And I've mentioned before, I've been a part of this program for about 4 years now. Anytime if I'm stumped on something, or even if tweaking my LinkedIn message, he'll take a look at my LinkedIn message and, hey, change this message. This would be better. You can test it. You can tweak it if it's working. You can keep doing it. If it's not working, you can tweak it and change it. He's available as a resource as part of his coaching program to help you with that. So again, the two links, virtualassistanttalent.com/LinkedIn and buildyourpracticefast.com for his coaching program. So people ask about other VA services, and you can find this information on our website. But let's say you have other things, outside of the LinkedIn program. If you want to do the LinkedIn program, or if you have other things, this has given you some ideas of other things that you'd want a VA to do for you. Just to give you an idea, our non-technical VAs that do admin assistant, social media, content, research, data entry, and so forth, start at $8.20 an hour. We have flexibility to do different packages to meet your budget depending on your business needs. And then technical VAs that do web design and maintenance, graphics, IT programming, the technical tasks start at $11.20 an hour. We manage the VAs for time and attendance. We're providing VAs that have proven track records with our clients, and we use a time tracking and attendance system where they have to log into a system, and we take screenshots to make sure that the VA is working. So it's kind of an assurance for you that your talent is working for you. So again, you can visit our website at virtualassistanttalent.com or give us a call to find out more. If you sign up for a program by 11/27, we've got a promotion. Use promo code FALL2010 and you get $50 off that first month of service. Again, service you can cancel anytime, and we refund any prepaid balance that you might have. So we're pretty flexible to meet your budget. So that's pretty much what we have. We're going to open it up for questions right now, and if you have any questions, again, you can email Ken as well after this call. I am going to be sending out within early next week a recording of the webinar to the people who've attended and those that signed up and were not able to attend. But if you, we got a few minutes here. If you want to ask some questions, what you can do is raise your hand, and you can ask your questions audibly. Everybody will be able to hear you ask your question. We'll take you off mute, or you can, in your there's a questions box that you can type in any questions that you might have. So let's see here. So we got a few questions. So one of the questions we have is from Kimberly. Kimberly, thanks for attending the webinar. Will you get a copy of the presentation emailed to us? We're going to be providing a copy of the recording of the webinar, so you'll have that. As far as the presentation, I can probably also put that up on, probably put it on SlideShare so you can access it from there. But we're definitely sending out a recording, and that'll go out by Monday, Tuesday of next week. Another person is asking, is there access to the webinar after it ends? And yes, we're going to be sending that out to you. Same thing, okay. How long does it take, this is from Brandon. Brandon, thanks for your question. How long does it take for general logo design? So general logo design, usually it will come up with maybe 3 to 5 different logo designs, and usually that's something, depending on the complexity, it's an under 10 hours project. So usually you can get a logo design for under $100. Usually it ends up being, if it's going to take the VA 5 or 6 hours to come up with some designs, and you pick one of those designs, you're probably looking at around somewhere between $50 to $60, where you have a few choices of a logo design. And so it's very, very cost effective in terms of coming up with logos, and we've done that for a lot of businesses where we've designed their logo, and then we've taken the next step to work on their website. So good. All right. Well, thanks, Brandon. So yeah, Brandon, I'll shoot you a message so we can connect with you and get started on something like that with you. All right. Good. Thanks, Brandon. So any other questions that people have? Let's see if anybody else is raising their hand. All right. So let's see here. And it looks like, yeah, looks like, well, we're out of time as well. We don't have any more questions here, so appreciate everybody being on the call. And Ken, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody thank you, and what I'd appreciate them doing is sending me an email and letting me know the results that they're getting. I want to thank everybody, and I want to wish you all the best of health. Keep well, and we'll talk next time.